So I just had a great conversation with a 19-year-old who's basically not enjoying school and who wants to do something with his life, right? He knows he should be enjoying school, right? Because that's what you should be doing as a teenager, right? What other options do you have? You got to go through school, and then you got to get a college education or get a trade so that you can make good money in a job, and that's your career for the next 40 years. It seems as if the youth does not understand the options that they have available to them, and that's what I'm going to share with you guys in this video, is helping you understand how not to be miserable. I speak a lot about getting options, having a lot of options, okay, in your life. Because if you have a lot of options, you'll have a lot of confidence, because if I can't do this thing, then I'll do this thing, and if I can't do that thing, I'll do this thing, and that's great, and I can, I have options. It makes me fired up when you got options, right? So, what are the options that young people have when it comes to misery and happiness in their careers? First of all, you got to recognize that work, is that a chore, or is it something to be grateful for? Something that we're happy about, something that actually fills us with joy, bliss, and happiness. Now, I understand that there are some aspects of work, right? When you have, let's say you love your job or you love your business like I do, there will always be some aspects of that business that you don't like to do, but that has to be done, okay? The system is designed in such a way that we have to do certain things that we do not like to do. And as a result, the people that are willing to do the things they're not willing to do end up getting way better results than those people that just choose to stick with the things that they like. Because as men, we have a duty and obligation and a responsibility to do extra, to become extraordinary, right? And extraordinary is simply putting a little bit of extra on top of the ordinary, right? And so if you understand that work should be play and it's not a chore, we got to figure out how can we make work play, because it's such a big, huge aspect of our lives. And if you don't figure this equation out in your brain, you're going to be stuck being miserable for the next 40 years. Because you know what's difficult in life? You got three categories of life, okay? Let's understand this. You've got relationships, you've got health, and you've got your financials. Now, in this current circumstance we're living in, with the way that women are today and the dating scene and, what is likely or probable to happen once you get married, the fact that your wife might lose attraction for you happens a lot. The fact that your wife might leave you, the fact that your wife might cheat on you, the fact that, there's a lot of bad stuff that can happen in the relationship front, okay? It doesn't have to happen. If you actually understand the stuff that I've been studying for a decade or more, if you understand, if you become part of our community, you'll understand all this stuff about women so that you never have to be dumped any time in the future, ever, okay? But if you don't join the community, you don't understand women, and you just, try it out on your own, right? You're probably going to have a lot of relationship failures in the future. Will you agree? By nature of the way that the world is designed right now, if you don't have specialized knowledge inside of that category, you're gonna be screwed. You have to understand this stuff, but it's not yet, okay? If you've been on my channel for a while, I always say avoid dating romantically, because it's the hardest part of all those three categories at this point in your life. So procrastinate it so that you can get better at all the other stuff, so you have those mastered, then you can tackle relationships. Let's go over to health, shall we? Okay, you have to understand these three categories, or else you won't be prioritizing things in your life the way that they need to be prioritized. Think about your health real quick. Right now, it's just wonderful, isn't it? But the problem is that you might have some addictions. You might not sleep properly, right? Because you're out partying during weekends or maybe even during the week, right? Who knows? And you use stimulants maybe. It happens, right? Drinking, smoking, weed, all sorts of things that people do these days. what are you doing with your health? Okay, if you're fantastically taking care of your health, you are an anomaly, right? You're part of the 5%ers, 10%ers, maybe 20%ers of those that take care of their health, of those that watch my channel. Okay, like, so let's say you are a top percenter. Great, fantastic, your health is good right now, but you know what's going to happen with your health eventually? It's going to begin to decrease. During that time when your health is on the decline, do you want to have money or do you want to be poor? Okay, so if you have money during that time when your health is on the decline isn't that bad. One, you've got coaches and trainers and dietitians and nutritionists and people that are there at your beck and call to help you to do whatever is necessary for you to keep your amazing health. If LeBron James uses $1 million to keep his health on point, I'd love to be that millionaire that spends $2 million on his health to keep his health on point. Do you get what I'm saying? When you're rich, you can do stuff like that. When you have a job, one job working 40 hours a week, you can't. You're stuck doing everything yourself. Just understand that when you begin to choose between, should I be a business owner or should I be an employee for the rest of my life? Oh, employee. Interesting what's going to happen. Let's just go through what happens. This is the last category, right? We've got relationships, health, and then finance, your money situation, okay? Business, your career. Think about this for a second. What are the options that you have when it comes to making money, okay? And we'll take winning the lottery out of the equation. That's never going to help you. It's actually going to drain you of cash throughout your life. Can you imagine people that play the lottery every single week from the time they're in their 20s until the day they die? How much money they could have actually have invested instead? Even done nothing except for just invested it, they would have been rich at the end of their lives. But no, they spend it on lottery tickets. Fantastic. Entertainment. Cheap entertainment that was actually extremely expensive because they could have invested that money instead. All right, let's just go and look at the options that people have that start out in their early 20s when it comes to their career. One, this is the thing that maybe the vast majority of you, even watching this video, even being on this channel, won't do, which is to succeed in business. Success in business is a choice, okay? It's not something that you might maybe in the future be able to do if you start a business. As long as you don't quit, you will succeed in business. It's impossible to not succeed in business if you don't quit. The problem is that most people quit. And now I'm not just talking about people who quit and then go back to being an employee. There's tons of entrepreneurs that quit on a daily basis. Like they never work hard and because, they're like, no, I'm just going to work my certain hours a day and that's it. Right? And they never try to learn beyond the capacities that they've got right now. So in the end, they become a failing entrepreneur their entire lives. That is an option. That's a choice that people choose if they don't actually put in the effort, right? So you've got to have a work ethic in order for you to become successful as an entrepreneur. Willingness to work, the 80-hour work week, and then you have to be willing to learn. You have to be willing to be coached. You have to learn from other people that are successful. If you combine those two, you will succeed in business. That's not an option. Okay? The vast majority of people who do try being an entrepreneur always go back to being an employee though. So, okay. So that's just how we've taken care of that. And when I talk about entrepreneurs, it's not like you can be a failing entrepreneur your entire life, but if you're remaining below 6 figures as an entrepreneur your entire life, you're a failing entrepreneur. Okay? Even if you manage to be a freelancer and scraping by, right? So at some point in time, you will become massively successful if you apply the principles that are found on this channel, which is the willingness to work a lot, the 80-hour work week, and then the willingness to learn, which is what you guys are trying to do watching this video. Okay, so that's an option. What are the other options you've got? Let's think about this for a second, okay? You've got the employee world. Oh, great. How does that one look like? Well, you've got 2 options. One is you can choose to be happy working a job. There are jobs that actually give you happiness. Did you know that? Like actual jobs that give you happiness because they're basically your interests. It's something that you're good at. They pay well. Like, imagine if you could find that dream job, okay? There are people on the planet that have their dream job, but again, it's like a 5% of the people that have that job, right? Like, I talk to a lot of people. Very few people have their dream job and are enjoying it. And they're basically rejecting my advances of saying, hey, bro, you should get some online income. They're like, no, bro, I love my life, okay? It happens. But that means that they chose to find that job, and they've chosen to work hard in that job in order for them to keep it and be valuable in the marketplace for their employer, right? So that is an option. It's definitely an option. But we'll get back to why that might be an option that doesn't work long term over the course of your entire career, okay? The last one I just want to explain is the aspect of just being miserable for the rest of your career. Imagine being miserable in your relationships because you didn't figure that out. You weren't willing to put in the work and to learn from other people that have gone before you that have succeeded in their relationships in order for you to succeed in your relationship. You thought it was just a gamble. I don't know if I'm going to be able to keep my wife, and as a result, let's hope for the best and get married. Or just completely not get married at all and be miserable by myself all life long, right? Relationship's going to be hard, bro, and that's harder than your career, believe it or not, okay? Your health will eventually decline. If you don't have relationships and your health declines, wow, that's nice, okay? Scarcity, and then the last part, also scarcity. Imagine being miserable your entire career because you couldn't find, you're part of the 80 to 95% of people that couldn't find a job that they enjoyed. Or worse, wasn't qualified for the job that they wanted. You just never got qualified because you didn't put in the work and you weren't willing to learn. What do you know? You're at the bottom. And you know that basically that's 50 to 80% of the people on the planet? Do you know the vast majority of people are miserable? That's why there are sayings like life is hard and then you die. It's not like that for the people that are at the top. They're actually enjoying life. Do you know that this is my best year ever? I'm actually enjoying my life more than I've ever had in my entire life. There are a few instances where I just like, whoa, I really enjoyed my life during that time. But this is probably the time in my entire life that I enjoy myself the most out of any other time in my life. Why? Because I know what I know. I know I'll have abundance in every single category of life, and that will be an ever increasing abundance in every category of life. And this is not to brag, this is just because I've been at it for 15 years trying to figure this out. And I'm just trying to help you guys to not go through the same mistakes that I used to, right? Or that I did. And you can avoid them. Like the relationship traps, I know them, okay? Amazing, okay? When it comes to health, bro, there's just certain things that you need to do for your health to be tip-top shape. And then maybe at the end of your life, yeah, things are going to decline, but they don't have to decline fast and exponential. It can be like a slow, beautiful aging, right? And hey, maybe we can figure out how to, become immortal at some point, in the future. Who knows what we're going to be capable of doing. But it just makes sense that you could, at some point in the future, maybe heal faster than you decline. Maybe. Could it? Because if you could do that, you could live forever. Anyway, it's just an interesting point. And then the last part, your career. You choose right now in your early 20s, which one is it going to be? Are you going to be an entrepreneur or are you going to be an employee? As an entrepreneur, you have to choose to be the hardworking entrepreneur, which means that you have to, once and for all, learn the 80-hour work week. And when do you learn it? As an entrepreneur or as an employee? You got to learn it as an employee. And most people are now willing to do the 80-hour work week during a miserable situation as an employee, but that is the best place to learn. That is the best place to test yourself, to go through the mud in order for you to get onto the other side and be able to build your business 80 hours a week. You know why? Because in the beginning of your business journey, you're going to hate your life because you suck at it and you're being rejected left, right, and center all of the time. And you're going to pull the 80-hour work week with that continuous rejection? Really? That's tricky, all right? So that's why I highly recommend, okay, just think about this for a second. At what point in time, which which phase of your life is the best time for you to develop great habits when it comes to exercise? Is it like around 70 or 80 years old? That's the perfect time to build health habits. Okay? Like 50 years from now, just take care of your health and just maintain it for now. And then when you become 70, bro, that's the best time to insert good health habits into your life. Is that how it works? No. It starts early, right? It's your teenage years. That's the time when you set up your health habits and your exercise habits and the way that you eat habits, right? Because if you do that, then you'll be set for life. It's the same thing with relationships, understanding women, right? But I would procrastinate that a little bit until you fix all the other stuff in your life first, because then you can attract better women, because if you have better women, then you're going to have less problems, right? But when it comes to your career, when do you set up good habits? Early on. If you set up the perfect life habits for your career right now, which is the willingness to work a lot and the willingness to learn fast, you've set yourself up for life, man. You've solved the equation for the rest of your life of having abundance in your money situation. If you have abundance in that money situation, you will now have abundance in the health situation if you'd like, and you probably will eventually, right? And you keep improving your health situation because you got money. And if you got money, you can hire coaches and experts and everyone that can help you and cook for you and feed you and blah, 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 all that stuff. And when it comes to relationships, guess what? Same thing. If you got money, it's not that it's going to attract women faster into your life, although it will, but it's more so the fact that you can learn faster because you can hire people that have the skills and the expertise and the experience. The only reason why you want to be rich is for you to be able to hire people that are better than you in every aspect of life. That's why we get rich, man. That's why the richer get richer, because they hire people. They build teams of people. Employees get stuck being by themselves. The lone wolf? You gotta be freaking kidding me. That's the worst type of life to build. So I hope that you understand the aspect of doing the 80-hour work week early on in your life, because that will set you up for everything in life that you desire. Trust me. Been there, done that. I understand this equation. I'm fired up to help you to understand it and get it inside your brain, because it's one small step at a time. You can be fired up now that you found this channel. If you depart from it, I feel sad for you. I literally do. I feel sad for every single person that passes by my channel and then moves on with their life. Who else are they gonna have that's gonna teach them this stuff? The commitment to the strategy is more important than the strategy, right? I might give you a lot of different strategies, but at the end of the day, are you committed to a strategy? Follow one person who has kind of his life kind of sorted out. Great. You're going to go far if you just follow that person instead of being confused by what everyone else is saying out there online. One small step at a time, brother. I'm fired up for you. I'm excited for doing this journey with you. If you want to be part of the ONTRACC community, the Men of High Value community, yes, we're doing a small name change. But if you want to be part of what we're doing and where we're going, make sure you DM me at Instagram at Men of High Value, and I'll see you guys over there or in the next video, whatever you want. See you then.